Hannah and I got married in April, and for our honeymoon, we cycled from Split to Tirana, Croatia to Albania. We bought our flights out and back, but had no plan in between. Oh, the wee one. This was how it went. Whoa. In this episode, we cycled from Split to Dubrovnik via Mostar. We spent a couple days in Split to acclimatise to the sun.
Ready for action?
Oh, baby.
We ate good food, wandered around, climbed some stuff. Split was great, 10 out of 10, would go again. See you later, Split. And then we set off following the coast.
Bye-bye.
Pretty soon into setting off, we got to know how windy the coast was.
How was your whiz?
Wow. We stopped for lunch and Hannah was saying her front brake just wasn't feeling all that good. So I jump on her bike and squeeze her front brake. And in doing so, I rip the front rack off of her bike. All I know is I got the brake back on and valet strapped the rack so it won't fall forwards.
Let's hit the road, Jack.
It's so windy.
I like 0.5 though.
We also got to learn that this trip was going to be hilly. A lot of hills. Got to this campsite in a hungry blur. Started making food as the first priority. And as you can see there, that's a gas canister. Well, it bloody caught fire, didn't it? It totally melted. We couldn't use it again on the trip. But it's fine because we eat this, put tent up and then go to dinner. We were bored of the wind and the close calls from drivers on the coast, so we decided to head inland towards Mostar the following day. But that meant our first proper climb. We searched around a few bike shops so we could try and fix the rack, but none of them had this really peculiar and special bolt. The last one we went to suggested we zip tie the rack, so that's exactly what we did.
We're zip tying it all together.
Zip ties always work. Yeah, we set off and have had to U-turn because we were going the wrong way. I think we're going up those massive hills over there.
Don't look down.
The climb had some amazing views and was generally alright. Woo! Let go! And that's it. That's the summit.
Let's go.
Hello, horse friends. Oh, a wee one. Little moments like this really woke us up to the adventure we were on. Kind of mad to just be here. We came from way over there. After the climb, we got into Bosnia before we knew it. The roads became smoother, but the phone reception stopped. Let's do a passport check. Quite fun. Got some more stamps. We're on the smooth roads now, on the way to Mostar, which we'll get to tomorrow. Rain was chasing us, so we pushed to get to the next town as quick as we could. But the route we took ended up being off-road. Over there. Hard for Hannah and her narrow tyres. We got to this campsite in a real fury because the weather looked absolutely terrifying. Only for it to be a bit sunny, we think, because it's light out here instead of really dark and scary. We didn't realise the next town, Medjugorje, was a pilgrimage site. It was pretty crazy to have come from some mega rural mountains and land in a bustling town. Another day.
Another day, another dollar.
Another dollar. We met a sweet guide there who shared his coffee with us. He was saying how he lost his tent during a storm, but then found it a few days later in a river. So sweaty. There's snow in the mountains, way off. What happened down the descent?
I accidentally caught my what do you call pedal, on the edge of the curb, and then went fuck, but I've saved it. And then we pulled over to shake it off, have a banana, and then we'll crack on.
Beautiful.
What should I do with my banana skin?
I put it in my crock. This was wild. After all that climbing over the last 2 days, we made it, descending into a bowl surrounded by mountains.
It says Mostar on the plate.
And then you take a nibble of sugar. We learned this from a YouTuber.
But you can wet it first.
No!
It kind of just tastes like an espresso.
My hands are all shaky though, I think I haven't eaten enough. A little Turkish delight for our travels. We decided to head to Mostar because it looked like it was going to be a bit of an adventure getting there, but we didn't know much about the history of the place, and this part of the world generally. Mostar has its famous cobbled streets, some great food, and people jump from bridges into the river here.
You dive off that? I think you do. This is what they called the people who Mostarians, do you know?
Yeah.
We
got to meet some people who grew up during the Bosnian War and learned a bit about the reality of this country during the 90s. It's amazing how, despite the recent horrors, people have so much to celebrate here. What's that? Maybe we should leave it.
I'm not leaving that.
See you later, Mostar. Great food. Crazy history. Yesterday we had a dog chase us, and that was pretty freaky. So now every time we see dogs, we're a bit freaked out. Leaving Mostar, we found this sweet route to Dubrovnik that went along an old train track. We only took it some of the way, but it was nice to be on a quiet route. Stopped for a snack in a little shelter. Ooh, 2 for the price of 1. Yo! Hey, hey!
Look at those hills!
It was cool getting to see some of the quieter parts of Bosnia. We were like, just one more town and then we'll stop for lunch. Who would have thought the next town over was in Croatia? The zip ties are holding Hannah's rack on well. Kamut was leading us on some banging routes, so good for Hannah and her 25mm tyres. Talk. I think we're going up there somewhere. We left the flatlands and headed back over the mountains that we climbed 2 days before. At the top of the climb, there's passport control to go back into Bosnia. So we cycled to the border control, up a big hill. I've been told it's the local border control and we have to cycle down the hill.
We could climb now.
And go around a different route.
I got stung on the way up by a bee, but we're having some chocolate and everything will be fine.
Down the
Not
thing.
long left though.
Down, down, up around the path. After that climb, we were so pooped. The other passport control was only another 10k, but we were cooked. So close, but so far. Hello, Bosnia. Again. Neum was rainy, but had some great food. Since the stove broke, we saw it as a sign to eat out instead, and it was our honeymoon after all. Hannah's been a right dumb bear and bought ginger instead of mango. It was funny getting to see this little coastal part of Bosnia. We were making good time, so planned to stop for a few days in Dubrovnik to recharge after 5 days of cycling. We're out of Bosnia, back into Croatia. Only Croatia, Montenegro and Albania to go. Our last hurdle was a climb, and unknown to us, some lovely, lovely rain. Leaving the sunshine for these clouds that the hills go right into, it looks like. Say hey! Hey. We met this fella who had cycled along the coast from nearby Mostar. And into those clouds. He makes videos on his Facebook, showing friends the small towns and villages in Croatia. I got a nice flat just as the rain started picking up. Yeah, it's a bit rainy. Getting soaked. We made it up and through the rain, rising above the clouds.
That was tough.
We were warm from climbing, but absolutely soaked through. The descent into town was going to be cold. Our power was continuing on while we stopped for a well-deserved break. See you later! Time to eat our body weight in everything. In the next episode, we continue on, cycling through the hilliest place in the entire world, Montenegro. But again,